Imagine this. It's 2026 and your phone buzzes for the 10th time today. A group chat is arguing about something that won't matter tomorrow. A coworker wants a quick call that won't be quick. Someone you're dating sends a message that looks harmless, but you already feel the tension in your shoulders because you know what's coming next. Emotional math, guessing games, expectations you never agreed to, but somehow you're responsible for. And then you do something rare. You don't respond right away. You set the phone down. You stare at the wall for a second. Not because you're lost, but because you're finally noticing something. Your life isn't loud because life is loud. Your life is loud because you keep saying yes to things that cost you peace. And here's the truth most men don't admit until they're exhausted. The most expensive yes you'll ever say isn't a purchase. It isn't a car or a house or a business deal. It's saying yes to a relationship dynamic that drains your time, your focus, your money, your health, and your direction, because you're afraid of being alone. That fear has been marketed to men for decades. Society tells you that if you're single, you're behind, that if you're not chosen, something must be wrong with you, that the goal is to lock something down as early as possible and call it winning. But 2026 is exposing what older generations could ignore. Modern life is mentally expensive, emotionally expensive, financially expensive, socially expensive. So the smartest decision isn't always get in a relationship. Sometimes the smartest decision is don't sign your freedom away while you're still building yourself. This video isn't about hating love. It's not about dodging connection. It's not about becoming cold. It's about choosing a season, maybe a long season, where you build your life so solid that your peace becomes non-negotiable. Because in 2026, being single isn't a weakness. For many men, it's the advantage. For a long time, the path was simple. Work hard, prove yourself, get stable, find a partner, build a family. Repeat the pattern that people call normal. And to be fair, that script used to offer something valuable: predictability, clear roles, communities that supported the structure, a culture that rewarded consistency. But that world has changed. The economy changed, work changed, dating culture changed, expectations changed. Even the definition of masculinity has been argued, rewritten, and debated in public, in real time, on social media, every day. In the past, a man could follow the path and feel like the map made sense. In 2026, the map doesn't match the terrain. Now you can do everything right and still feel behind. You can work non-stop and still feel replaceable. You can commit and still feel lonely inside the relationship. You can give more and more and somehow be treated like you're not doing enough. That doesn't mean relationships are bad. It means the old assumption, relationship equals completion, doesn't automatically hold. A relationship is not a finish line, it's a multiplier. If your life is stable, a good relationship multiplies stability. If your life is chaotic, a chaotic relationship multiplies chaos. If you don't know who you are, the wrong relationship multiplies confusion. And here's the problem. Many men were never taught to build identity first. They were taught to chase milestones, to earn approval, to prove value externally. So they enter relationships as unfinished men, hoping someone else will make them feel finished. That's not love, that's outsourcing. And outsourcing your identity is always expensive. In 2026, attention is the new currency. Everyone wants it. Companies want it. Apps want it. Influencers want it. Even people in your personal life might unconsciously compete for it. Your attention is being farmed all day long, and when a man's attention gets fragmented, three things collapse: his focus, his emotional control, his long-term planning. A distracted man becomes easy to manipulate, not necessarily by evil people, but by noise, by urgency, by social pressure. And relationships can become another kind of noise if they're built on constant reassurance, constant conflict, or constant performance. A lot of men aren't tired because they work too hard. They're tired because they're always on, always replying, always fixing, always explaining, always decoding signals, always making sure someone else is okay, even when they aren't okay themselves. So when a man chooses to be single intentionally, he isn't lonely. He's doing something strategic. He's reclaiming his attention. And once you reclaim attention, everything improves. Your decisions, your health, your money, your peace. Single life, done right, becomes a system upgrade. At some point, a man realizes how much energy he spends trying to be understood, explaining his intentions, defending his tone, clarifying what he meant, reassuring someone who distrusts calm, apologizing for things that aren't really wrong, but it's easier than a 3-hour argument. And if you've lived like that long enough, you start to confuse love with effort. You start to believe, if I just do more, she'll finally feel secure. Or, if I just explain better, she'll finally understand me. Or, if I sacrifice enough, I'll finally earn peace. But peace that must be earned through constant performance isn't peace. It's a contract. And most men don't realize they're signing these invisible contracts every day. Being single breaks that spell. It forces a man to face himself instead of negotiating himself. Because when you're alone, you can't blame relationship drama for your lack of progress. You can't use someone else's moods as the reason you stopped training. You can't claim you don't have time when you spent 3 hours in circular conversations. That's not a criticism, that's liberation. Single life puts the mirror back in your hands, and a man who can stand in front of that mirror without flinching becomes dangerous, in the best way. Not dangerous to people, dangerous to mediocrity. A lot of men have a painful realization later in life. Some of the relationships that felt the most alive were actually the most destructive. The highs were intense, the lows were brutal. The makeup felt like relief, the arguments felt like passion, the jealousy felt like desire. But that cycle isn't romance, it's adrenaline. Your nervous system doesn't know the difference between love and threat when you've been conditioned by unpredictability. You can become addicted to emotional spikes, so calm starts to feel boring. Consistency starts to feel cold. Stability starts to feel too easy. But easy isn't the enemy. Easy can be health, and in 2026, health is rare. A stable man begins to realize something powerful. Peace is not the absence of love. Peace is proof that love is safe. Being single can detox your emotional system. It teaches you what normal actually feels like. Sleeping well, thinking clearly, not bracing for the next conflict. And once you experience that kind of calm, you stop romanticizing storms. Men are taught to chase intensity. Big wins, big nights, big reactions, big validation. But the men who win long-term don't live on intensity. They live on consistency. Calm doesn't mean you're passive. Calm means you're regulated. It means you can take a hit without panicking. You can hear criticism without collapsing. You can face uncertainty without self-destructing. And when you're single, you can build calm like a skill. You can train your mind to stop reacting instantly. You can train your body out of constant stress. You can train your life to run on systems instead of moods. Most people don't respect calm at first. They notice it later, when everyone else is crashing out. In 2026, calm men stand out because the world is overstimulated. Calm becomes charisma. Not loud charisma, real charisma. Presence, steadiness, self-control. Being single, when it's intentional and healthy, often does something your body has been begging for. It lowers chronic stress. When you're not stuck in constant emotional negotiation, your nervous system gets a break. Your sleep improves, your digestion improves, your patience improves, your ability to focus returns. And this matters because stress isn't just a feeling. Stress is a chemical environment. If your life constantly triggers anxiety, your body pays the bill. Inflammation, fatigue, brain fog, impulsive decisions, burnout. Solitude can become recovery. Not isolation, not hiding, recovery. A man who learns to recover becomes harder to break. Let's get practical. One reason being single can be the smartest decision is because it gives you control over your routines, without compromise. without negotiation, without emotional turbulence. Here's what a strong single routine can look like. Morning. You wake up early, not to grind for aesthetics, but because mornings are quiet. You hydrate, you train, you walk, you stretch, you build the body like you're building armor. Midday. You work with focus. Deep work, not scattered work. You learn skills that compound. You protect your attention like it's money, because it is. Evening. You clean your space. You eat intentionally. You read. You plan. You reflect. You don't numb out every night with scrolling because you understand something. Your future is built in your evenings. Weekends. You don't chase chaos to feel alive. You build experiences that restore you. Friends, nature, projects, creative work, sport, family. This is the part nobody sells because it's not dramatic, but it's powerful. Because while other people are trapped in cycles, you're compounding. And compounding is unstoppable. Many men secretly use relationships as validation. Not because they're weak, because they were never given another structure. So the relationship becomes proof. I'm acceptable. I'm chosen. I'm enough. But validation is unstable fuel. It burns fast and leaves you empty again. Purpose is different. Purpose doesn't need applause. Purpose doesn't disappear when someone is mad at you. Purpose doesn't ghost you. Purpose doesn't punish you for having a boundary. When a man is single and serious, he can rebuild his emotional foundation on purpose. Building a business, mastering a craft, upgrading health, strengthening family ties, developing discipline, creating financial stability, improving social skills and confidence without needing romance as proof. Then relationships stop being the source of identity. They become an addition, and that changes everything. And relationships can be expensive, not just financially but in opportunity cost. When you're single, you can take calculated risks, relocate for a better job, invest aggressively, responsibly, start a business with lower lifestyle pressure, work extra hours for a season, live lean without needing to match someone else's expectations, recover from setbacks without carrying relationship strain on top. This isn't about being cheap, it's about being agile. In 2026, agility is power. A man with fewer emotional and financial liabilities can pivot faster, learn faster, recover faster. And the truth is, many men don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they're carrying too many obligations too early, without enough foundation. Being single gives you time to build that foundation. And for anything legal/financial around long-term commitments, always consult a qualified professional. Smart men don't guess with high-stakes decisions. A common fear is, if I'm single, I'll end up alone. But solitude doesn't have to mean isolation. In fact, being single can improve your relationships because you stop spreading yourself thin. You stop hanging out with people out of habit. You stop entertaining friendships that only exist for convenience. You stop chasing circles that don't respect you. You build a smaller circle that's real. Men need brotherhood. Men need community. Men need friendships that aren't based on status games or constant competition. When you're single, you can build that deliberately. Weekly training partner, monthly dinner with close friends, joining a club, sport, or community project, reconnecting with family. With stronger boundaries and more maturity, it becomes quality over quantity, and quality is what protects you. The strongest benefit of being single might be this. You finally learn yourself without distortion. You learn your triggers, you learn your patterns. You learn what you do when you're anxious. Do you chase? Do you withdraw? Do you numb out? Do you get angry? You learn to sit with discomfort without running. That's emotional strength. And emotional strength is rare. A man who has emotional strength doesn't beg. He doesn't cling. He doesn't explode. He doesn't collapse. He doesn't need to win every argument. He becomes steady. And when he does choose love, he chooses it from strength, not from fear. Success used to mean visible milestones. Now, success is quieter. Success is waking up without dread. Success is having money in the bank and air in your lungs. Success is a body that works. Success is a mind that's clear. Success is a schedule you control. Success is relationships that feel safe, not draining. Success is progress you can measure, not attention you can chase. In 2026, the men who win aren't always the loudest. They're the most aligned. They don't live for approval. They live for coherence, where the life they live matches the life they respect. Let's make this mature and clear. This is not anti-relationship. This is pro-intentionality. Being single can be the smartest decision when you're building your foundation, you're healing from chaos, you're upgrading discipline, you're fixing finances, you're finding direction, you're learning who you are without pressure. And when you do decide to date, you date differently. You don't date to fill emptiness. You don't date to prove worth. You don't date because you're bored. You don't date because society is rushing you. You date because your life is stable and you've met someone who adds to it, not someone who becomes the center of it. That's the difference between a man who's ready and a man who's lonely. Being alone isn't the problem. Being unbuilt is the problem. When a man chooses singlehood intentionally, he's not choosing emptiness. He's choosing space. Space to think, space to recover, space to train, space to build, space to get honest, space to become consistent, space to lead himself. And in 2026, self-leadership is everything. Because the world will always demand something from you. People will always have opinions. Culture will always shift. But a man who has peace has leverage. A man who has discipline has options. A man who knows himself can't be easily controlled. So if you're single right now, don't rush to escape it. Use it. Make it a strategy. Make it a rebuild. Make it the season that upgrades your entire life. And when the time comes, if it comes, you won't need love to complete you. You'll choose love from completeness. That's the smartest decision a man can make.